Hey guys, it's Bree. So today's video is going to be on what is the right age to get your period, or when can you expect to get your period. Now this is probably going to be a really short video because the answer to this is simply there isn't really a right age or an age that you can sort of expect to get your period. I know people who've got their periods when they were 8 years old, and I know people that haven't got their periods till they're 18 years old. In this entire gap here, you could start your period and it would be fine. Mainly, some people tend to look to their parents or rather to their mothers and their grandmothers. The sort of age that they got theirs can give you an indication of when you might get yours, but it's not always the case. For example, for me, my mum got her period when she was 11 and I got my period when I was 14. The average sort of age that girls tend to get their periods around is sort of 12 or 13, but again, it really does tend to vary, and if you haven't got your period by that point, it doesn't by any means necessarily mean that you have got a problem or anything. It's just that your body isn't ready yet. And now, it will depend on where you are in the world, and also your diet and your family and that kind of stuff, and also your GP as to whether or not they want to start your periods a little bit earlier. It tends to be that certainly I've heard of that when girls haven't got their periods by age 16, sometimes the doctors will say, okay, maybe we should try and start them artificially now, either going on the pill or having hormone shots or anything like that, really. You can also try more natural methods like acupuncture. It's quite a good one for starting periods up. They often use it for people who've had eating disorders and have lost a lot of weight and then have put it back on and are trying to get their periods back. Often prove successful in those cases. And in fact, that would be what I'd recommend if you get to 16 and your period still isn't here. I would never ever ever recommend going on the pill to artificially start your period before it's ready. So at 16 maybe you could try the acupuncture and stuff just to see if it helps. But really and truly, I wouldn't start worrying until after age 18, because it tends to be that your body will just start when it's ready. And different families that come from different cultures, sometimes it's a family running thing. Your family, the women in your family tend to start later, or they tend to start earlier. You never know. It's just your body will figure all this out. But something that people do tend to ask about is, are there any signs I'm going to get my period? Well, yes, there are some signs that you're going through puberty and that your period might be coming soon, but by soon it could literally be a couple of months or a couple of years. So, anyway, the symptoms are that you start growing pubic hair, you start growing hair under your arms, you also tend to start sweating a lot more is one that I've noticed. PMS symptoms like getting moody at certain points in the month. Also, you might get like pain in one side. Or you might get some dull cramping, and also particularly discharge. If you start getting discharge, that can also be a sign that your periods are due soon. I think for me, developing boobs, obviously it's another one. I didn't develop breasts until I was 12 years old. And as I said before, I got my period when I was 14. I developed pubic hair when I was around 11 or 12. I didn't develop underarm hair actually until a couple of months ago, and I'm 17 now, so that was not one sign that my period was coming. And I've never been moody. I didn't get cramps when I first started my period. I only get cramps now, a couple of years after my period started. So yeah, it will depend so much. As far as discharge goes, I think I probably got discharged for about 2 years before my period came, and I used to wear a little panty liner every day in my underwear at school because I didn't notice them, so I thought, well, if I do start my period at school, at least I'll be able to feel it. But the truth is, you can never pinpoint the exact day that you're going to start it. It's just, you'll just find out when it happens. And I know that can be quite frustrating because I was always terrified that it was going to start at school. But the truth is, it'll be one time that it'll happen, and then you can move on. It's your period, it's not the end of the world. But I hope that was helpful for you guys. So basically, just let your body do what it's going to do because it knows what's happening, and as long as you haven't got a condition which you would already know about, like Turner syndrome, which would mean your periods need to be started artificially, and as I said before, you would know about it if you had that, you're probably not going to have any issues and your body's going to start when it's ready. But thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. I will see you on Thursday. Bye!